going first. We'll call the meeting back to order. I will ask the clerk to call the roll to determine our quorum.
Alderperson Barzak.
Here.
Chaplesky.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
Lysick.
Here.
May.
Here.
Probst.
Here.
Reinke.
Here.
Rote.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
10 present, none excused.
We have a quorum. We will start with the Administration and Finance Committee. Alderman Haas.
The Administration and Finance Committee met in recess, and all members were present and acted in unanimous fashion to approve items 9, 10, 12, to place on file item 13, place on file 14, place on file 15, deny 16, deny 17, place on file 18, and approve 19. That is the committee's report. I move for approval of the committee report.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderman May. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky. Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor Devine.
Thank you. Public Works Committee, Alderman Barzak.
Mayor Devine.
I would like to bring your attention to items number 20 through 33. 20 through 22 were ordinances that were voted on to be passed. 23 through 30 were resolutions that were adopted, and 31, 32, and 33 were all placed on file, moved favorably by all 5 members of the committee. I move for adoption of the committee's report.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderperson Reinke. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine, that is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Barzak. Yes. Oh, yeah. Safety and Development Committee, Alderman Lysick.
I defer to Alderperson Probst.
Okay.
I'll just lower my voice.
All right.
I'd like to draw the I'd like to draw the audience's attention to items number 34, 38, and through 39. They're communications, resolutions, and a special use permit, all acted favorably by all 5 members of the committee. I move for adoption of the committee's report.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderman Barzak. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries. Thank you. License and Health Committee, Alderman Chaplesky. Sure.
I'd like to report first on item number 40 on tonight's agenda. This is an ordinance to increase the our quota on the license for Class A. It went 4-1 was the vote to pass. I'd like to move for the adoption of this portion of the committee's report.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second by Alderman Weigel. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
No.
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May,
Aye.
Probst,
Aye.
Reinke,
Aye.
Rote,
No.
Vitale,
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
8 in favor, 2 opposed.
Motion carries.
Then we have items number 41 through 45, and ordinances number 47 and 48. These are various license. They were for approval, one summons and complaint, and the 2 ordinances for placing on file. I'd like to move for the adoption of this portion of the committee's report.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderman Vitale. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Jablonski.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
And finally, we have item number 46 on tonight's agenda. This is approved subject to necessary requirements by 4 members, 1 person voting no. I'd like to move for the final portion, to adopt the final portion of the committee's report.
Second.
There is a motion and there is a second by Alderman Weigel. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
No.
Jablonski.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
No.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
8 in favor, 2 opposed.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have the Advisory Committee. Alderperson Reinke.
Mayor Devine. I direct the council's attention to items number 49 through number 53 on tonight's agenda. 1 appointment and several reappointments, all favorably approved by the committee. I move for their approval. Mayor Devine.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second by Alderman May. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Jablonski. Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Lysick? Yeah.
I refer you to item 6 on your agenda. It's a resolution relative to the modification of the organizational and reporting structure of the City of West Allis organizational chart and amending the City of West Allis Policies and Procedures Manual number 403, Shared Responsibilities of Mayor and City Administrator, acted upon favorably by 7 members of the Committee of the Whole, 2 members voting no, and 1 member excused. I move for adoption of the committee report on this item.
Second.
There's a motion and a second by, what was that?
You have a choice, Mayor.
Your choice.
You like me better?
We'll give it to
or what?
Vitale. It's got a better accent.
All right.
My voice wasn't low enough?
It wasn't Sicilian enough.
Well, she's half of it.
I'm only half
We
blood.
we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Chaplesky.
It's been 2 weeks since our last discussion on this. I still yet to hear any reason why we should be doing this. Taking power away from the mayor and extending the authorization over the second floor. I see no reason at all. We're creating a city manager. I know no one wants to hear that, but if you look at the description and what she's going to be doing, it's a city manager. And I just don't think we need to be doing this, and I think we're going to regret it down the road.
Thank you.
Mr.
Any
Mayor.
other discussion? Alderman Vitale?
You know, it's not a question of, to me, I never heard about city manager. I don't think that's the issue at this point. But like I mentioned before, in any private industries, you know, you have the president, then you have the people, vice president, general manager, supervisors. So, and the questions it is, all the supervisors, even lead man goes to the supervisor, and then it goes step up, up and up. So the fact that is the supervisors, every day or twice a week, they have their meetings, you know, anything that's going on within the structures. So really, it's not much different, really, what really is going on within the, in any part, whether it's private industry or city government. I believe it's still the function, the mayor is not losing any control, really, or the council is not losing any control. I think we still have the authority to, anything that occurs within the system, we have the power to let anybody go if they screwed up. So, I mean, I don't see, but we need someone that has some overseers what really happens on a daily basis. We're not here every day. We're not here for 8 hours a day. We're not. So the fact is, there was some questions, to hire a new administrator by Mr. Paul Ziller retiring. So, and the fact stood that the new administrator was here to do her job. So what is gonna be good for someone probably don't like it, because the fact it is they have to report, or some question they come up, they have to go to the administrator. I don't see anything wrong with that. You go by the steps. But we are the final here. The mayor still has control. I mean, I don't think he lose any power or any control. This council, he won't lose any controls, what really is going on here tonight for us to adopt those resolutions. I mean, I don't see anything wrong, really, of fairness. So that's why, I've always been in favor of that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Vitale.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysick.
I'd just like to clarify a couple of things. We've had a city administrator's position for a good number of years now. The city administrator was responsible for overseeing the HR department, city clerk's office, treasurer's office, finance department, assessor's office, but did not have responsibility over public works, engineering, development, and health. This takes the administrator and puts the administrator over all of those departments, as well as the ones that they're responsible for at the present time and have been responsible for a number of years. Prior to this being proposed, those department heads reported directly to the mayor. And as you all know, there are no qualifications required to run for the office of mayor. You don't have to have a college degree, you don't have to have a high school education, you don't have to have any administrative ability. We've been very fortunate over the years. We've had very good qualified people running for office that have the skills to manage the city. However, we're not guaranteed that that's always going to be the case. And this ensures that we will always have someone with administrative skills in that position running the city, and allow the mayor to do what mayors should be doing, and that's providing a vision for the city, providing a vision for our staff, and doing outreach to businesses, and being the cheerleader for West Allis, creating economic development for the city, and I'd like to say Mayor Devine has done an absolutely outstanding job in those areas. And I think that this relieves him a little bit of his administrative day-to-day details, and lets him do what the mayor should be doing, outreach with the community. Let's leave the administrative work to the hands of the skilled administrators. We've had mayors in the past that have had absolutely no administrative skills, none, zero. And in those cases, the city administrator really ran the city. And I'm not going to mention names of past mayors. We've had some mayors that have had some good business backgrounds, that have had degrees in public administration. We've had others that have had no training whatsoever. This ensures us that we're going to have a good qualified leader in the city, someone leading staff and taking the lead in new management techniques, HR. Everything is much more complicated today than it was years ago. You can't take the average person off the street that might decide to run for mayor and put them in a top administrative position and expect them to be able to carry out all of the functions and duties of a top administrator with no formal training. We need someone that has formal training, and that's what this ensures us to do. We've had it on all of the departments except the 4 that I mentioned. I can tell you why those 4 were never included, and it goes back probably 30 years ago when we had 2 administrators in the city, one on the second floor over development and planning and building inspection, et cetera, and one on the first floor. Unfortunately, the one that worked on the second floor did not work out and had to be let go by the city and never was replaced. That's where that separation came from, and for whatever reason, the councils, subsequent councils, never acted to correct that issue. This is an opportunity for us to correct it and have a proper structure for future.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky. Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Ranky.
No.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
8 in favor, 2 opposed.
Motion carries.
I then refer you to item 7 on your agenda, resolution relative to amending City of West Allis Policies and Procedures Manual, policy number 404, recruitment, selection, appointment, and confirmation of city officials and department heads, acted upon favorably by all 9 members of the committee that were present, 1 member being excused. I move for adoption of the committee report on that item.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderman May. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky. Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
I then refer you to item 8 on the agenda. This is a resolution relative to repealing and recreating City of West Allis Policies and Procedures Manual, policy number 405, discipline for non-elected officials, executive service, department heads. This is acted upon favorably by all 9 members of the committee that were present, 1 member being excused. I move for adoption of the committee report on this item.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderperson Probst. Is there any discussion?
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Chaplesky.
I'd like to make a motion to amend part of this. Item 5.3, basically removing the word chair. So it would just read department head and administration of finance committee, not just the chairman of the committee.
Second.
Is that a motion to amend?
Yes, I made the motion.
There was a
Second.
motion and
I made the motion,
a second
second.
by
correct.
Alderman Rote. Is
Correct.
there any discussion?
Alderman,
Mayor Devine?
It was Rote. wasn't it? Yeah. Is there, okay.
would you like me to explain what the amendment does?
I was just going to ask Alderman Toplesky if he would read that passage, so thank you.
What it says is, right now, the appointing authority shall advise the appropriate common council standing committee chair who has functional oversight over the applicable department head and the administration and finance committee chair at the time an investigation is commenced. This would change it to not only notifying the common council standing committee chair that's in charge, but, and not only the administration and finance chair, but the entire administration and finance committee. So just adding 4 more people that get notified.
Any other discussion on the motion?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Weigel?
I guess my question for clarification, so this is if a department head, if an investigation is begun in a department head?
Right.
Okay. And there isn't any fear that widening the circle of knowledge anymore? I mean,
Well, I would,
was that the reason?
I think it was a matter that Alderman Chaplesky wanted the entire finance committee to be aware of the problem, not just, or
Just
potential
one-
problem,
just
and
one
not just
person.
a chair. And I have no problem with that.
Thank you.
It's going to be in an executive session anyway, since it's a personnel matter, so.
Any other discussion on that motion? Okay, on the motion to amend, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Ranky.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale,
Aye.
Weigel,
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries. Now we vote as amended, I believe. Okay. Do we need a motion for that, or is it already in
it's
front of
already
us? Okay, on the amended motion, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barzak.
Aye.
Chapletsky. Haas.
Aye.
Lysick.
Aye.
May.
Aye.
Probst.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel,
Aye.
10 in favor, none opposed.
Motion carries.
That is all, Mayor Devine.
Thank you.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we adjourn until our next regularly scheduled meeting, Tuesday, November 1st at 7 PM.
Second.
There is a motion with a second by Alderperson Reinke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.